Hi there, friends and adventurers. Heather here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top favorite, best lighting options for your vehicle that are easy, affordable, and best of all, they only require USB to power or charge them. So, let's get into it. Just a little bit of background real quick. I have been traveling and camping part-time in my minivan camper, which is a Dodge Grand Caravan named Terra, for almost exactly 4 years now. And over the years, I have experimented with and utilized a lot of different types of lighting, but I feel like I have honed it down to the best options for me that are also the most efficient and really just easiest and convenient to use while also being the most effective. So I want to share that with you, and that's what we're going to do. I'll be sure to link all of the lighting that I'm showing you today in the description below with my Amazon affiliate links, because I did purchase everything from this video on Amazon over the years. Some of it I've had for pretty much 4 years now. And it's all stuff that I, again, have paid for myself and would 10 out of 10 recommend. So, without any more rambling, let's get started on this list. First up, as you'll quickly tell, I really like ambient lighting that's not as harsh. I don't like the cold, bright white lights. I like warmer lights. I find that they attract less bugs for camping. And also, it's just less glaring on my eyes. It feels a little cozier and homier to me. So you will see a theme there. But getting right into it, this is one of my favorite. I did have another lantern for several years that finally pooped out on me. So I've had this one for about 1.5 years now, I think. But I love it. It's got different settings. You can see here. You can, it would help if I push the right one. You've got the flicker light, just normal, nice, warm light, and then one that kind of fades in and out. And then similarly, it's got the cold, white, bright option. Again, I feel like I'm in a horror movie. Too harsh. But anyways, you get the gist. This is my go-to setting. But I like that it gives a nice soft light, and it is still good in the evenings where I can still see what I need to see inside, as long as I'm not, coloring, reading, preparing food, things that need more significant lighting. This is a nice, I like to use both of them, although really one or the other would be sufficient. This is also LED light. It's nice and squishy, USB rechargeable here, USB-C. And then it's got this setting that it's color change, and then it's got bright, hello, and then dimmer and dimmer. So I normally keep it on the dimmer of the warm settings, but again, you've got options. And this one, the charge lasts quite a while. I've noticed that I can go at least several full nights before I really need to recharge it again, although really I could probably stretch it to close to a week if I'm just using it at night. This one also holds a charge for quite a while, but again, just USB rechargeable, so super easy, and all you really need is like one of these little battery banks here. You don't need a power station or anything like that. Also, as you can see behind me in the ambient and cozy department, I love my string lights. Now, these are actually little tiny mini salt lamps, which I will say collect condensation in the Florida summer, so something to be mindful of. I have gotten a couple of drips of water on my face while I was sleeping because of that. But I've used a variety of different string lights over the years, and I found that I don't really like the battery-powered ones that you have to constantly replace the batteries on. I feel like they get dimmer faster, and then again, you're constantly replacing batteries and having to buy new ones. So I find as long as it's string lights that you can plug right into a little power bank or that can be recharged, they're perfect. Any kind of string lights, I feel like they give you that nice ambient lighting that still, lights up to where it's useful, but it's more of like a, this is so cozy and pretty and, aesthetics. But I have found that string lights are a fun and inexpensive way to instantly add some warmth and comfortability to your camping, living, travel space. Another string light option that I personally love, and I typically myself use it actually outside at my campsite for when I need a little extra lighting if I'm going to be hanging around the campsite after dark and I know it's not going to disturb anybody else, or if it's not in a sensitive area like near the beach during sea turtle season, you know, stuff like that. But as long as it's okay to have some nice ambient lighting outside, so where when you're getting in and out for late night bathroom runs and you want a little extra light, that's normally what I use it for, although it's just as effective inside your vehicle if you want. And that is solar string lights. These are the Luci Light version. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of those, and I'm actually going to get into the Luci Lights here in a second. But they do make a little string light version. I just realized I was probably messing with my microphone, so hopefully that wasn't too scratchy or irritating to you guys. I'm still not 100% used to wearing one. But as you can see, they just unwind, so they store up nice and compact. I like to wind them around, like if there's a lantern pole or even the outside of my vehicle. Around Christmas time, I decorated the outside of Tara with them for like holiday lights. I'll insert a little clip of that right here. And you can see they have either this little flashlight spotlight option or just the standard, again with different level brightnesses. And they do last me all night long. Every time I use them, they're still on when I wake up in the morning after sunrise. So you can definitely use them overnight inside your vehicle if you don't want to keep string lights on all the time. Or again, outside at your campsite, and then you can just recharge on your dash or at your campsite during the day. And then when you're done, just wind back up, pop it closed, stow it away. And you can also use, if you don't want to use solar to power it, it does have the USB recharge option as well. So staying on the solar theme, I actually have two options here. And I will say this is the kind of OG original Luci Light one. This is Luminaid, I think. Yeah, Luminaid. I actually kind of like this one a little bit more, and it actually lasts a little bit longer, I found. Both of them, you can get the kind that's just solar chargeable. I like the fact that you can use solar, or they both have the option here that's covered so that it stays waterproof, to where you can recharge with USB while you're driving, or if it's a cloudy day and you want to use, you know, a little power bank or your power station or whatever. You do have that option, but they are the inflatable kind. Hold on, I don't want to blow this up on camera because you don't want to see me huffing and puffing with my chronic illness symptoms. But as you can see, it inflates, and then you just have, again, different dimness options. And I like this one too, that it snaps instead of just having this like little loop thing. What I personally use this for is I'll either hang one on my lantern hook and then have the other one. I use this to just slide on my little antenna because my baby Tara, she's old enough to still have a physical antenna. So I'll just hang it off of this, and then that way I have just a nice soft little ambient lighting for if I do need to exit my van to do a bathroom run. I have noticed when I wake up in the morning, this one is normally turned off, and this one will still be on. So do with that what you will. I'll link them both below, but I think these are a great option. When I'm done with them for the night, I just deflate them. Performance anxiety. Normally it takes me like 2 seconds. And then obviously it won't be on. I'll just toss it up on my dash to charge in the sun while I'm driving or out hiking, and it's soaking up the sun. Another lighting option that I have found more versatile and useful than I expected to find it is just a nice little reading or book light. You know, it's obviously meant to clamp onto your book, but I've noticed if you have like a little desk or a table, some type of eating surface, even like the seat belts, you can just clip it on. and then you kind of have like a little spotlight if you just need it for, again, reading, writing in your journal, coloring, something where you don't want to light up the entire interior, but where you do need some supplemental lighting. I've also found it super helpful for stealth camping because as much as I love my string lights, just in case there's any bleed through from my window covers or the front windshield gap where like the rear view mirror is, I try not to use my string lights that are up high that would give away that I have lighting and that I'm doing stuff inside my vehicle. So in those cases, I do like to use the more subtle lighting like that, that's just spotlighting what I need it for and not lighting the whole thing up like a Christmas tree inside. So just a little tip to think about. Which, while we're on the topic of versatility and being multi-purpose, which if you're no stranger to the channel, you know I love a good multi-purpose item. I'm actually going to borrow this here for a second. I'm sure you saw it in the reflection of my glasses, but I do like to use this for filming when it's not bright outside at the moment. And I have also found that just like the reading light, it is great with its different brightness settings, so where I can easily use it to just light a certain area or even aim it down low. If, again, I'm stealth camping and I don't want the light to be reflecting up high, that might be bleeding out the windows anywhere. This way I can just kind of keep it aimed down low, stay nice and stealthy and sneaky. And then last, but certainly not least, is my all-time favorite original lighting option that I literally have had since day one of car camping. I've only had to replace it one time when it finally quit after almost 3 years, and it only cost like $10. I think now when it's not on sale, it may have gone up to like $12.99, but you can still get it for under $10. And this thing it's as good as any interior lighting on a sticks and bricks building. Inside a room, any kind of overhead light, you'll get that same level of brightness. So when I use it, I feel like I'm just, flipping the switch on any kind of light. And again, it's only USB powered, so it uses hardly any power at all. I could keep it powered on my little battery bank here for weeks and weeks and weeks before needing to recharge it. And that is, again, this one that I am using for filming right now. But, I mean, it's so bright. And I just normally keep it hooked right up here. And then it just has like a normal light switch. Which is always close to my bed, and it's a nice long cord. So if I need light immediately, or if I, need a significant amount of light, all I have to do, flip the switch, voila. So there you have it, my friends. I tried to keep this nice and short and sweet. Hopefully you found it really helpful, and hopefully I was able to prove to you that you don't need a lot of power, a lot of money, or a big fancy setup, or like any kind of built-in lighting to have significant lighting options, and also to bring a little sense of whimsy, warmth, and coziness to your home on wheels. If you have any similar favorite lighting options that I did not cover in this video, I would love to hear about them in the comments below, so make sure you share with us if you'd like to. And I will see you again very soon for another video. Thanks for watching, friends. See you soon.